we were discussing about the module 2, that is harmony in being, human being. So we were discussing that the needs of the self and the body is different, how it is different. So when we say that human being, the self is different, the body is different, but both are required for a human being to conduct, for the definite conduct, to have the feelings, etc. So today, in this session, we'll discuss about the body as an instrument of the self. So we are discussing about harmony in human being, that is self and the body. So we discussed all these topics, the self and body as a coexistence, all these parameters, the need with respect to time, quantity fulfilled by its activity, everything we discussed. So when we talk about human being, it's a gross misunderstanding, assuming human being to be only the body. A gross misunderstanding is to assume the human being to be just the body. As far as the needs of human being are concerned, they are in terms of happiness and physical facility. The need for happiness is continuous because it is actually the need of the self. So with the assumption that human being is just the body, all the efforts for fulfillment of human needs have to take place through physical facility. We're actually trying to fulfill the needs of the self through the body, through physical facility. Of course, we're also trying to fulfill the needs of the body through physical facility. We are trying to fulfill the continuous need for happiness, like respect, through physical facility, like clothes and food. Since the need for happiness is continuous, we end up thinking that it will come from more clothes, more food. Hence, the need for clothes, food, and other physical facility appears to be undefined, unlimited in quantity. So, for instance, we can observe people who are trying to get respect out of clothes. They keep on buying and wearing new clothes just to draw attention towards themselves. Do you think that this attention is the same as respect? Is it possible to get respect based on the clothes you wear? What about continuity of respect on this basis? Certainly, it does not work. So, the impact of this assumption is that we keep accumulating more and more physical facility without knowing how much is enough. How much will fetch us continuous happiness? We never feel prosperous. We feel deprived, so we try to accumulate more. That is how we get into a loop. Check if you are also caught in this loop. So, the gross misunderstanding is assuming the human being to be the body and therefore trying to fulfill all the needs through physical facility alone. It is needless to say that there are wide repercussions and every level of human existence. On the one hand, there is exploitation of natural resources for more and more physical facility. On the other hand, human beings are exploited in the process and also they are made to compete for the limited physical facility. The self is central to the human being. So if we look at human being, the self, which we call it as consciousness, is there. The body, we call it as material, is there, and the two coexist. Further, it is the self that has the need to know and the possibility to know the reality. It is the knower or seer. The self gives instructions to the body when the body needs to be involved, and it reads the sensations from the body. In that sense, the self decides what to do. It is the doer. It is the self which experiences happiness or unhappiness. It is the enjoyer, experiencer. So we can see that there is an exchange of information between the self and the body. In this way, we can see that the self is central to human existence. The body is used as an instrument. So we'll explore in detail with this the needs of the body and their fulfillment, the fulfillment of the needs of the self and the needs of the body ensures the harmony in the human being. So that's the brief proposal of harmony in human being for your self exploration. So if we easily see that we are involved in various activities all the time, activities like eating, sleeping, playing, studying, etc. We try to distinguish between the activities of the body, the activities of the self, and the activities where both the self, where both the self as well as the body are involved. When we say my activities, we are generally referring to our imagination, our activity of making decisions, our desires, our thoughts, our expectations, and so on. It is necessary to understand the self with precision so as to be able to understand harmony in self. So there are three sets of activities of the self are mentioned here. So these are the initial activities that we say. It is not just a matter of reading about these activities, but it is important to see these activities going on in you, right? Like when we say consciousness or the self, it is I want to live. I want to live with continuous happiness. To understand and to live in harmony at all levels of being, it's a program of action for continuous happiness. When it comes to the body or the material, we say my body is used as an instrument. Physical facility is required for nurturing, protection, and right utilization of the body. Production, protection, and right utilization of physical facility is a part of my program. So I'm the seer, doer, enjoyer, experiencer. I use the body as an instrument for fulfillment of my program. So thoughts is the power for the activity of analyzing, trying to work out the details of how to fulfill your desire. When you have a desire for becoming an owner of a big house, you try to work out the details of the house. For example, will you have a dining room, a bedroom, a kitchen, a veranda, a bathroom, and so on. So this is called analyzing. So you're trying to separate different parts of the image, trying to work out the details of the image, trying to analyze the image. That is called thought. You generate lots of possible details and you're taking up some of them. For the veranda, you may have lots of possibilities, an open veranda, partially covered, and so on. You compare these possibilities and take up some of them. Which ones will you will take up and which ones you will not depends on your basis for comparison. Thought is the activity of analyzing based on comparing various possibilities to fulfill your desire. So we can see that the desire is about what to do or what to be, and thought is about how to fulfill the desires. Expectation is the power for the activity of selecting based on tasting. For example, when you are desiring for a big house, you have an image of it. You're analyzing that image, trying to work out the details of it. And now you're trying to fulfill the finer details like the smoothness of the walls, the colors, etc. That is the activity of selecting. Here is a house, a drawing room, and you want to decide whether to put white color, green color, or blue color on the wall. So this selection of color is based on your taste. If you had visited some place and you saw a cream colored room which you happen to like, it is now part of your taste. So now when you are selecting colors, you select it for cream color. Expectation is the activity of selecting, which is of course on the basis of tasting. So you can take more examples to exemplify each of these activities. But you have selected the style and color of your clothes. This selection is based on your taste. You may like to wear loose cotton clothes, that is your selection. You have selected clothes which are blue in color, that is your taste. Your friend might like to wear tight synthetic clothes which are black in color, that is his selection based on his taste. You may or may not be aware of your taste, but every selection you make is based on your taste. Try to observe the way you sit. You select the position and posture every few minutes. That is also based on your taste for comfortability. So, the root of selecting, tasting, and analyzing, comparing is the desire. You may have a desire to be comfortable, so you're selecting body postures that provide comfort. You may have a desire to be knowledgeable, so you're analyzing courses available in your college and selecting some of them. At the root is a desire for what you want to be, and it is in the form of an image, not just a physical image, but an image that also contains some feeling, some purpose. Can you observe within yourself and see that the activities of imaging, analyzing, comparing, and selecting, tasting are going on? You may observe that you have a desire to be a person with a good job. Then you may have many thoughts about how to get a good job. Shall I try for campus recruitment? Shall I apply directly to the companies that do work in the areas of my choice? Shall I consult my seniors and so on? There may be many thoughts like this. So you may be dropping some of these thoughts when you compare with your criteria. I want to consult that senior because he or she has always been nice to speak with me. I don't want to apply directly because placement office will disqualify me from campus interviews if I did that, and so on. So then there may be many selections depending on your taste. So this set of companies, because they offer the best package and so on. Is that happening in you? So these are some of the activities of the self which are continuous. So here we can see that a self as a seer. Seer means the one that sees or understands. Example, if you're given something in your hand and you conclude that it is a pen, it is not your eyes that concluded this. It is you that concluded this. The self sees via the eyes. The eyes don't see themselves. Like that, all the five senses are just the instrument that enable the self to see something outside. Just like you see outside, you can also see within without using the body for sensation. For example, like sometimes we feel happy, unhappiness, jealousy, getting angry, irritation, doubtfulness. Thus, the self sees or understands sometimes with the help of the body, sometimes without the help of body. So the body is used as an instrument. Doer means the one that does, who takes decision to do. I am the one who decides. I decide what to do, what not to do. I may or may not use the body to do what I think of is my decision. I do that thinking within myself. There is no role of the body in this. So, if required, the body is used to express my decision. So, the body is used as an instrument here. So, if I take one more example, like I want to reach to the bus stop. So, myself decides to go to the bus stop. And how do I go? Myself decides that I want to walk. But self cannot go to the bus stop on its own. So, it will take the help of the body. So the body is used an instrument to reach that stop, what the self has desired for. So we can see that it's a doer. The body is used as an instrument here. Enjoyer. Enjoyer means one that experience happiness or unhappiness. I am the one that feels enthusiastic or depressed. I am the one that feels angry or delighted. I am the enjoyer, the experiencer. The body is used as an instrument. So, coming to the activities of the self and the material, we can say that activities of self are continuous. We have the power of desire, that is, we have the capacity for the activity of imagining. So, we are able to image. We have the power of thought. We have the capacity for the activity of analyzing. So, we are able to analyze. We have the power of expectation. We have the capacity for the activity of selecting. So, we are able to select. These powers are inexhaustible, so the activities are continuous. Try to observe if these activities are going on in you continuously or not. Are you having some desire or the other all the time? Like the desire to be happy, is it always there, or sometimes you have no desire at all? Are you having some thought or the other continuously all the time? Or there are times when you have no expectation? Like, do you always have the expectation to keep the body comfortable? And you keep selecting some body posture or the other. Start by observing your activities during the day, and later you can make observations during the night also. So, if you're not able to see that it is continuous, you have to go on finding out, go on exploring, checking whether there is any time when there is no desire, when there is no thought, or when there is no expectation. Find out if these activities are not going on, or they are going on but you're not aware that they are going on. Activities of imaging, analyzing, comparing, and selecting, tasting are always going on, whether we are aware of them or we are not aware of them. They are continuous. Activities together constitute imagination. Now, if we put these activities together, it's called imagination. We may not immediately be able to observe our desires, thoughts, and expectations distinctly, but It may be easier to see that something is going on within one imagination or the other is going on in us all the time. You can look into yourself and find out whether this imagination is going on in you all the time or you can stop it. It is important to look into yourself to find out. So, what do you find? If you observe yourself, you will find that some imagination or the other is going on all the time. Imagination gets expressed in behavior and work. All the decisions are made in our imagination. The decision regarding behavior with human being is taken at the level of the imagination. Similarly, for any work we do with rest of nature, the decisions are taken at the level of imagination. It is where all decisions are taken. Can you see that? You may select to express something outside as behavior or work, or you may select not to express anything outside. That decision is also taken at the level of imagination. When it comes to the expression outside, the body is used as an instrument. In behavior, you may use the body to share your feeling of respect for your friend by the way of words. In work with the rest of nature, you may involve your body to show the weed seeds, to sow the weed seeds, and so on. So, your behavior or work is simply an expression of your imagination in which the body is involved. So, summing up this, I can say that human being is coexistence of self and body. Self is the seer, doer, and enjoyer. It is central to human existence. The need of the self is continuous happiness. For this, the program of the self is like to understand harmony at all levels of being. Production, protection, and right utilization of physical physics is a part of the program. The body is an instrument of the self. The transaction between self and body is only in the form of information. Thank you.